this is always a good matchup. LSU typically competes well in Florida. And, these teams, they're starting to finalize their lineup. So they know what is on the line, and they are ready to compete hard tonight. But last week, for both of these teams, they had great showings. And this is my favorite thing to watch in the whole NCAA is Haley Bryant's front handspring pike half on vault. And she did it perfectly, and the judges gave her a 10 for it. And then Kaya Johnson, she made her premiere in the all-around and was rock solid on the floor exercise, getting her 10.0 of the season as well. And then last week, on Friday, we had to see this. Trinity made her debut in the all-around, and she was sensational. First time out, and she is already now ranked 5th in the nation after one performance. And it's mostly because she has great skills, great execution, and she knows how to compete, and we are excited to see her again tonight.
Yeah, this is a matchup that we've all been waiting for. You looked at the schedule at the beginning of the season. You circled this one because this one, not just two great teams, but this could decide the regular season champion in the SEC, and that has been awarded since 2017, and this could be the deciding factor, these two great teams. Things to watch for tonight on the show. Of course, the J&A Academy. We're going to talk perfection, and no, it's not about me and Alicia. It's about the 10.0. There's been a lot of them this season. We'll talk about that. Alicia also had a chance to sit down with the great Haley Bryant from LSU. We'll have that interview for you, and we'll also talk about Gymnast of the Week here in the SEC, and we'll preview what's coming up later. Georgia, Alabama, Missouri, Auburn, some great gymnastics, as always, here on Friday Night Heights. A lot of stars for both of these teams competing tonight. LSU will start the meet on bars, Florida on the vault. Here are their lineups for each event this evening.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the gymnasts for our meet tonight. First, for our visitors from Louisiana State University, the Tigers. A senior from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, Sarah Edwards. A sophomore from Houston, Texas, Maddie Rao. A senior from New Orleans, Louisiana, Rebecca D'Antonio. A senior from Dallas, Texas, Reagan Campbell. A freshman from Dallas, Texas, KJ Johnson. A senior from Hackettstown, New Jersey, Christina Desiderio. A senior from Athens, Georgia, Sammy Durante. A sophomore from Athens, Georgia, Elena Arenas. A junior from Luling, Louisiana, Cameron Ryan. A sophomore from Mandeville, Louisiana, Sierra Ballard. A junior from Dallas, Texas, Kaya Johnson. A senior from Fort Myers, Florida, Bridget Dean. A junior from Detroit, Michigan, Kai Rivers. A sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, Chase Brock. A freshman from Lee Summit, Missouri, Aaliyah Finnegan. A junior from Evergreen, Colorado, Alona Chenikova. A sophomore from Hillsdale, New Jersey, Olivia Dunn. And a sophomore from Cornelius, North Carolina, Haley Bryant. The assistant coaches for the Tigers are Ashley Knapp, Garrett Griffith, and Courtney McCool Griffith. And the head coach for Louisiana State University is Jay Clark.
team because they have to be tough. You can see the energy in that routine.
Oh my goodness.
Was amazing.
A freshman from Frisco, Texas, Sloan Blakely. A freshman from Navarre, Bree Edwards. A freshman from Middletown, Delaware, 2017 World Championship All-Around Champion, Morgan Hurd. A freshman from Bradenton, 2018 World Championships Team Gold Medalist, Riley McCusker. A freshman from Overland Park, Kansas, 2021 World Championships All-Around Silver Medalist, Leanne Wong. A sophomore from Denver, Colorado, Chloe Clark. A sophomore from Iron Station, North Carolina, Gabby Galentine. A sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois, 2021 All-American and reigning SEC Beam Champion, Ellie Lazari. A sophomore from Orlando, Alex McGee. A junior from Ocala, Illinois, Peyton Richards. A senior from Ann Arbor, Michigan, 2021 All-American, Leah Clapper. A senior from Claremont, Sydney Johnson Sharp. A senior from Landover, Maryland, three-time All-American, Nia Reed. A senior from Columbus, Georgia, three-time All-American, Savannah Sainthair. A senior from Tampa, Hallie Taylor. A senior from York, Pennsylvania, 18-time All-American, Trinity Thomas. A grad student from Dallas, Texas, 8-time All-American and 3-time SEC Beam Champion, Alyssa Bowman. A graduate student from Marietta, Georgia, 6-time All-American, Megan Skaggs. And an honorary team member from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Bailey Warner. The coaches for your Florida Gators are Owen Field and Adrian Burdett. And the head coach for your University of Florida Fighting Gators, Jenny Rowland. Ladies and gentlemen, please show respect to all student athletes, staff, meet officials, and fellow fans at our meet tonight. Respect is a core value of the Florida Gators. Now, please join us for a performance of the national anthem, this evening performed by Barry Denise and signed by the UF Signing Gators.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, our judges for the competition this evening are Jay Miller.
Coming up, the best matchup in the SEC this season. Number 5 LSU versus number 4 Florida, next on the SEC Network. It's that time of week again. It's time for Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network. We're at the O'Connell Center on the campus of the University of Florida as the 4th-ranked Gators host the 5th-ranked LSU Tigers. Hello, everyone. I'm John Roethlisberger alongside Olympian and world champion Alicia Sacramone-Quinn. Last week, both of these teams, Alicia, had some great performances. Let's start with LSU.
This is my favorite thing to watch in NCAA gymnastics. Haley Bryant's perfect 10.0 vault from last weekend in the win over Auburn. And then the 10s must have been contagious because Kaya Johnson goes to floor and gets another 10.0 for LSU to help them defeat Auburn with a season-high score. And then last week, we got to witness Trinity Thomas's first debut in the all-around for this year. She was absolutely phenomenal against the Tigers and helping the Gators clinch their win over Missouri. And I'm excited to see her compete here tonight. It's going to be an electric crowd. And if Trinity competes like she did there, I bet we could see some big scores from her.
Third straight sellout here at the O-Dome between these two teams, and they've got a good history. 27th straight top 10 matchup. That means both of these teams have been ranked in the top 10. This is a 27th straight time. That is unbelievable. Obviously, some great individuals that can put up 10s. Already 7 this season. Florida does lead the overall series pretty comfortably, 73-42, but don't let that fool you. This matchup in recent times has been very much up for grabs between these two teams. Florida is going to start on the vault. Megan Skaggs, their super senior. What a luxury for the Florida Gators to have someone like Megan Skaggs leading things off. And Florida is slated right now, as it stands, to have 4 gymnasts doing the all-around. That is the first time they will have that this season.
Like you mentioned, John, Megan is a super senior, and we talked about this earlier. She is just consistent. She hits, and she's clean, and there's something about her gymnastics that's so entertaining to watch. Huge Yurchenko full, just the tiniest hop on the landing, but that was big.
Great start for the Gators.
Exactly what you want to see in a vault. Her legs were together. She had nice shoulder angle off the table, good height and distance. Great opening vault.
Beautiful Yurchenko full for Megan Skaggs, doing what she does all the time, just rock solid, consistent, and usually you see that smile on her face as well. Now LSU, they are starting on the even bars, had a great competition last year. Jay Clark called it really the second meet of the year for them because they had such a long layoff, but Kaya Johnson here getting things going.
Kaya moving high to low, back up on the high bar. So far, this routine has been relatively clean. Double A dismount. Great lead off set. There was a few little form breaks here and there that I don't think the judges will take too much deductions for, but that was nice.
Kaya Johnson competed all around for her first time last week as well, as we saw from Trinity Thomas, also doing the same at Missouri. Both teams breaking the ice here. Megan Skaggs leads things off for Florida with a 9.9. Here are the gymnastics rules. 6 gymnasts compete on each event. Top 5 scores count. That is the critical part. You can drop the low score. So if you have a mistake, you can wipe it away, as we see Savannah Shane here.
That was a nice Yurchenko 1.5. Blind landing. She does do a small hop, which the judges will deduct for, but in the air, she was great body position. Small hop forward. Very good.
Let's go, says Savannah Shane here. Following Megan Skaggs' 9.9, trying to build on that. Kaya Johnson led off for LSU with a 9.825. The junior from Detroit, Michigan, Kai Rivers, will be the second gymnast to go for the Tigers.
On uneven bars, these are the 3 main things judges are looking for. You have to hit your handstands. They want to see release moves from high to low, low to high, and same bar releases. And last but certainly not least, you need to perform your skills with good execution and form. Nice big Tkachev over the high bar for Kai. Double layout and sticks that landing. Opening up the bar routine, going from the low bar, backswing to the high bar, back to the low bar, getting bonus points for connecting those skills together to help her start from a 10.0. And that, look at that height. I think her coach could probably walk underneath her as she releases the bar.
So 2 athletes done for both teams here in the first rotation. Now Leanne Wong, one of the star freshmen for the Florida Gators, will be the next to go on vault. Savannah Shane here, 9.875 for her effort.
And has a unique vault, the round up half on, pike half off. Great distance on that vault. Now, something we've seen her get penalized for in other meets is she lands with her chest a little bit lower. But this is also not the same vault judges are used to seeing all the time. So you could see good distance. Ideally, they want her to be more vertical on that landing and not have her head pointing down.
She has a high this season on that event of a 9.85. Next up on the uneven bars, Olivia Dunn. She is a sophomore, one of the biggest benefactors of the NIL, and there's been a lot of talk about Olivia and how she's benefited from that. One thing that their coaches have said about her, though, is just what a great teammate she is, and one thing she's tried to do whenever possible is try to include her teammates in some of the deals that she has gotten, which is great to see. She follows Kai Rivers, 9.825, so a pair of 9.825s now for LSU.
Opens up with a big Tkachev to immediate pack salto. Just a tad bit short on that handstand on the high bar. Double leg dismount. Has a bit of a form break as the second flip of that double layout, but we have a different angle than what the judges see, so I'll be interested to see if they actually knock that. Great height on that skill. You see the legs come apart, and she's soft in her ankles, so that will be a deduction, but that was a nice bar routine up until that point.
The feet did not move, though. They stayed in one spot. We'll see what the judges decide on that one. Leanne Wong, the judges decided it's a career high for you. 9.9. Now the number 6th ranked gymnast in the country on the vault. She has a season high of a 9.975 on this event. This is senior Nia Reed.
Yurchenko 1.5. Oh, almost stuck it. Just a tiny hop. That was fantastic. Good approach to the springboard. Good form on the table. Opens it up. If she just had her head around a second sooner, she would have been able to absorb that landing and stick that vault.
Wow, what a big vault, though. Just missing the stuck landing, or that may very well have been another 10. Nia Reed getting her first 10-0 of her career on floor exercise earlier this season. 9-9 for Olivia Dunn. Here's Haley Bryant.
Haley rocking that handstand to start off her bar routine. Big straddle Jaeger. Getting ready for the dismount. Line change. Double front half. Oh!
Wow.
That was so nice.
And this is a new dismount for Haley. Easier to stick, adding that half twist.
She had a hard time controlling the double front, so why not make it harder and easier to stick?
There you go. Pays to be talented. And speaking of talent, Trinity Thomas, number 9 in the country on vault, already has a 10-0 this season on this event. You can see she's following a pair of 9-9s, 3 total so far for Florida. Low score at 9.875. This could be big for them.
If she sticks this vault, it will be a 10. It will be a 10.
The O-Dome crowd dares the judges, who are mere feet away, to not give the 10 on that vault. That was amazing.
Beautiful form in the air, opens it up and shows it off to make sure the judges saw I did not move my feet. I'm just making sure we're all on the same page here.
If that was not a 10, a 10-0 does not exist, because that was perfect form and just a controlled, easy landing too. No fight, just was perfect all the way. Quickly over to bars, this is Alona Shanikova for the Tigers. 9.95 for Haley Bryant. Trinity Thomas, the scores in 9.975. Can we put an inquiry in?
A nice hit for Alana on bars. She did have a little bit of form breaks here and there, but that was a nice, clean ending on that dismount. Double A. Just that small hop of the feet.
What are the judges looking for on vault, Alicia?
On vault, not all vaults are created equal. Their start values are different. You need a 10.0 start value. You need to have good height and amplitude off the table. And obviously, my favorite thing to say about vault, what you need is air awareness, so you can stick that landing.
Here we go with freshman Sloan Blakely. She is also doing it all around today.
Another Yurchenko 1.5. Tries a little bit to open that vault up too early and does have a lower landing. Stays on her feet, but it will get knocked down with a deduction. Had a slight shoulder angle on the table that didn't give her the right amount of height and rotation to get that vault around the way she definitely can.
The low score on vault before Sloan went was a 9.875. That is likely going to be the score they will need to count. I expect Sloan's to probably come in under that. Now LSU trying to keep pace with what was an outstanding vault rotation for Florida. Alona Shanikova, a 9.85, so 2 scores for LSU above a 9.9 or better. And here we are with Sammy Durante in the anchor position.
Nice straddle Jaeger. Sammy has potential to score very well in this bar routine. As long as she keeps her momentum and has good, clean form, LSU could really use a high score from her. Full twisting double tuck, and she sticks the landing.
That is a big routine early for LSU. They needed that one. This is going to be so tight after one rotation.
Great control out of that Jaeger. And then she finished the routine beautifully with that full twisting double back.
Well done for both of these teams. So far, they've lived up to the hype. When we come back, it's the J&A Academy. We're going to have the perfect discussion. Yes, we're going to discuss the 10.0. Academy. We're going to talk perfection. No, not you and me, Alicia. We're going to talk about the 10.0. Everybody loves the 10.0s. We love 10.0s. You and I always feel like we get gypped at meets because we don't see enough of those 10.0s. But recently, it's been a 10 stravaganza, as we'd like to talk about it. Why the recent trend of 10s, Alicia?
The talent level in the NCAA has been increasing each and every year, but specifically this year, I think with those Olympians who typically would forego college gymnastics, making their way onto teams, that has definitely played a factor into why we've seen so many 10s. And not to mention, we have athletes getting another year of eligibility because of COVID. So you have super seniors coming back who are poised, who are experienced, who know how to compete and can put up those very big scores. Something that we did talk to coaches about, that they can be a little bit weary of all these really high 10s because you may have someone who does a fantastic routine that deserves a 10. Because they're just momentum of the judges, a routine that was very good may also be getting a 10. There needs to be some differentiation between these scores.
Speaking of 10.0s, as we look back over the last 10 years, here are the number of 10s per season going back to 2013. You can see 2022, 23 10-0s so far this season. If you look at the rest of the regular season and the postseason, roughly on pace for about 75 this season, which would be a huge number. Here are the 10-0s by school. Florida leading the way. Michigan coming on big time, put up a huge number of 10-0s this past weekend. Alicia, if there is a concern about too many 10.0s, and you mentioned the coaches bringing that up a little bit, what can be done about it?
Honestly, they could probably take a look at the rules and make some changes to make it a little bit more difficult for these athletes to get those big scores.
11 10.0s just this past weekend. Actually, every member of the 2020 Olympic team that is now in college got their first 10.0 last weekend. And we've got a good one here. LSU just a 10th and a quarter behind the number 4 team in the country, the Florida Gators. Haley Bryant, the best piece of gymnastics in all of women's gymnastics, goes to the vault. Her vault's amazing. Riley McCusker and the Gators, they will go to the uneven vault. Black history always here on the SEC Network, and what a perfect segue. It's the perfect 10 wall here in Florida, and it's also alumni night, and that means Pam Titus is in the house. Pam Titus was the first Florida Gator gymnast to get a 10. She was also the first African-American gymnast to get a 10 in NCAA gymnastics, and she is in the house. Pam Titus, the first Gator to get a 10 back in 1991, and I'm going to age myself. I was a sophomore in college that year. Enjoying the energy here in the O-Dome, and what an energy it's been. 3 straight sellouts. Actually, this is the 3rd in a row, but also the 3rd in a row versus LSU. This is obviously a big matchup for these teams, and the crowd knows it. Kai Rivers will lead off for LSU, just .125 behind the Florida Gators after one rotation.
Huge Yurchenko fall from Kai Rivers. Small hop on that landing. She is capable of a 1.5, but Coach Jay Clark says we'd rather get less deductions on a nice clean full than risk the 1.5 and not have control on that. But that vault was outstanding.
That was gorgeous. Flared it out in the air, just that small hop. Talking about that hop right there. Sloan Blakely, we saw her finish that vault rotation in the anchor position. Now over onto the uneven bar. She leads things off here again. A solid lineup for Florida. They're number 4 in the country in this event.
Backswing to pack salto. And kind of blows up her momentum here. Keeps the routine, tries to keep the routine going.
An unfortunate fall. She just looked like she got off, Alicia, and couldn't get things back on track.
It happened on her first skill. She does the shaposh. Her backswing isn't enough. She tries to go for the next skill, and everything is just kind of cut short. She releases the bar, catches it. Ideally, she wants to get your feet up higher on that backswing to give her momentum to do that pack salto, and then everything just really got impacted by that, unfortunately. Double front dismount, small hop step on that landing. Not the routine she is capable of doing, and I'm sure she'll be frustrated with that, but she just needs to turn the page and keep the meet going.
Head coach Jenny Rowland in her 7th season leading the Florida Gators. One thing she always talks about is easing these freshmen into the season. Sloan Blakely, outstanding junior gymnast, former elite gymnast, and now trying to ease her into the college season isn't always as easy as people think it might be. Now Sarah Edwards, the second gymnast to go here on vault, following Kai Rivers, 9.825. This could be an opportunity now for LSU. The margin for error for Florida now in bars has gone away.
Yurchenko 1.5 with just the smallest step on that landing.
And wow, this was a late change to their vault lineup. Sarah Edwards was not supposed to be in, and I bet they're happy they made that change, Alicia.
Definitely. The more 10.0s you can have in your vault lineup, the more likely you are to get that extra 10th you need to kind of edge out a team if it's a close competition.
So great start for LSU. Meanwhile, Florida on the uneven bars. We talked about it earlier. You got 6 gymnasts per event. You can drop the low score. And the low score right now, the one they're going to want to drop is an 8.55 for Sloan Blakely. And if you want somebody to go up after a mistake for your team, I got to think Jenny Rowland loves the fact that Megan Skaggs is up. She's poised, she's confident, and she can get things back on track.
Bounce up onto the high bar. Huge Tkachev to Pack salto. Hitting that handstand on the high bar. Double A dismount. Goes for the stick, does move her feet just ever so slightly. When judges are judging a routine, you have within 10 degrees, so between 90 and 80 without any deductions. If you're below that point, you will get deducted for your handstand. That double A did have some leg separation. I've said it before, the judges aren't seeing it head on like we are, so they may not know how much that leg separation is.
Now here we go with sophomore Elena Arenas following Sarah Edwards, 9.875.
Big Yurchenko full. Pikes it down ever so slightly to take a hop on that landing. But good approach to the table, nice form in the air.
So far for LSU on vault, the vaults that aren't 10-0 start values, those are Yurchenko fulls, man. They don't mess around on those. They are nice, big vaults, and are still going to put big numbers up for them. Megan Skaggs on the uneven bar. She stops the bleeding, as we say, gets a 9.85. That is the score now that Florida will want to build on. Freshman Riley McCusker not in the lineup last week, back in the lineup this week. She is world class. She's a former elite gymnast as well. She's on the 2018 World Championship team that won gold. She competed in the most recent Olympic trials. Just missed the 2020 Olympic team.
Pashka Pack salto. Now talking with Jenny Rowland, they have changed her routine around a bit. Doesn't get her feet on the bar there to get back up to the high bar. Repeats the skill. Eagle grip. To immediate double back. That was the new sequence they had been working on. She sticks the landing. Does have that mistake, covers it up well. The judges will probably give her a deduction for that, but she finished the routine strong.
Monday, SEC Inside grants you all access pass to the Tennessee women's basketball team, the number 13 team in the country right now. And at 9 Eastern, that's at 9 Eastern. Then at 9:30, we look at the Vanderbilt men's team right here on the SEC Network and, of course, streaming live on the ESPN app. 3 vaults done for LSU. Elena Arenas just finished, got a 9.85. So no scores in the 9.9 pluses for LSU so far. Here's KJ Johnson.
KJ has potential to do a big vault. She goes with the easier option and sticks the full. She can do a double full. Mind you, that's a 10.0. A Yurchenko full is a 9.95 start value. That should score at least a 9.925. That vault was fantastic.
I'm giving it a 9.95. That was ginormous Yurchenko full. However, we saw what we thought was a perfect Yurchenko 1.5 from Trinity Thomas in the first rotation. Ended up a 1/4 of it. So I should just be quiet and let Alicia make the prediction on that vault. Savannah Shane here now. Riley McCusker, a 9.85. So back-to-back 9.85s for Florida after an 8.55 for Sloan Blakely in the leadoff spot. We'll see what Savannah can do here.
Big release move on the high bar for Savannah. Nice control and the kip out of it. Toe handstand to bail. Double front half, and she sticks it. Now that is the type of bar routine we've been waiting for from Florida. We know they're capable of that. The first few people up had struggled a bit, but Savannah has gotten it under control and put up what we typically see from the Gators.
Wow, what a routine in a pressure spot. Again, no margin for error for these Gators.
That was a fantastic dismount. Very difficult.
Jenny Rowland loves it. KJ Johnson, a 9.9 for her vault. The last two vaults for LSU are big time. Here is Kaya Johnson. And of course they are anchored by Haley Bryant. Savannah Shane here just put up a 9.95 for Florida. Pressure now back on LSU.
Double full. Small hop on that landing, but that vault was big. Nice approach to the table, round off onto the board, back handspring. Barely moves those feet on that landing. I thought initially that hop was bigger, but really nice.
She liked it. She loved it. Kaya Johnson, the 18th ranked gymnast in the country on the vault, and now the 21st ranked gymnast in the country on the bars. It's Trinity Thomas.
Beautiful pack salto on the low bar. Trinity makes all of her gymnastics look effortless. She's one of my favorite gymnasts to watch in the NCAA because she's just so good.
She was denied the 10 on vault. It would look perfect. The judges saw something we didn't. What are they going to do with this one?
I mean, there's nothing that I saw there that would take a deduction. Then again, I'm also not a judge, but that routine was so beautiful.
She floats that double layout, puts her hands down on her thighs in the air just like she is enjoying the ride. Now, Alicia and I believe if you had to pick one thing to watch in women's college gymnastics, it would be this vault. She got a 10 last week. Here's Haley Bryant.
Takes that small step, but that vault is still my favorite thing to watch.
Kaya Johnson, a 9.95 right before that.
We talked to Haley Bryant and we talked to Jay Clark, and what he always says, when she gets her arms out to the side, she tends to stick her vault better. Her arms are a little bit slow opening up, but that was still very nice.
What a vault. Freshman Leanne Wong is the anchor for Florida on the uneven bars. Keep in mind, they started with Sloan Blakely's 8.55, not the way they wanted to start, obviously, but since then, 2 9.85s, a 9.95 from Savannah Shane here. I don't know what the judges are doing right now with Trinity Thomas's score. It could be very near perfection. Leanne Wong has been perfect this season. She got a 10-0, her first 10-0 of her college career on this event. Trinity Thomas at 9.95.
Leanne pack salto. A little bit of a form break there in her middle. Keeps the routine going.
Haley Bryant score 9.9.
Double layout. And that was a college step turn if I've ever seen it. She was trying to get the stick but could feel herself not having it. I'm going to turn and salute as fast as I can.
You got to give credit to this Florida lineup, though. The next 5 athletes, they answered big time.
They definitely picking up where their teammates had struggled, so that should score well.
We will find out what that score is after the break, but next thing you're going to see is that young athlete right there. She had a chance to sit down with Alicia Sacramone Quinn. You'll hear that interview when we come back.
I'm here with LSU sophomore Haley Bryant. Haley, thank you for joining us. You had a fantastic competition last week. You got the third 10 of your career on vault. Walk the viewer through what is going through your head as you were vaulting.
Honestly, nothing. I tell myself to just not do anything because I've done this vault for so long now to just turn my mind off, and it's muscle memory at this point. So I kind of just go autopilot out there. And one of the things Jay always tells me is just to put my arms out and not put them up, because normally when I put them up is when I hop. So I'm just like, arms out.
Out to the side.
Out to the side.
What is the hardest thing about being a student athlete?
I think time management, and especially now because we're traveling, so we have to get all our work done probably before Thursday, because Thursday's normally when we travel, and just communicating with our teachers if we need extra time or if we need help with an assignment that we don't really understand.
Why should nobody sleep on LSU this season?
I think we just have so much depth on this team. If one person goes down, we have so many people to go in, and it definitely wasn't the start we wanted. It was kind of a rocky start with 2 meets being postponed, and for me personally, obviously suffering an injury in the first meet of the season was definitely hard for me, but we've been working so hard in the gym, and just being here and now is our motto this year, being present, being where our feet are. So I think we're really gonna do something special this year.
Would you rather do 2 floor routines back to back or 10 vaults?
Definitely 10 volts.
Would you rather have to competition salute anytime someone says your name or wear a leotard to all your social functions?
Definitely salute when somebody says my name. I do not think I could wear a leotard longer than I have to.
Awesome. Haley, thank you so much for taking the time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Alicia, I'm pretty sure all the gymnasts would say they do not want to wear the leotard any longer than they have to, and I don't blame them. 6-time All-American, SEC and NCAA vault champion. You saw why moments ago, and she is just a sophomore. What a career she has ahead of her. What a fun athlete to watch, and certainly fun to listen to her. Score after 2 rotations, it's 1/10. We said it was going to be a good one. 1/10 separating the 4th and 5th ranked teams in the country. Alyssa Bauman in the Gator. She's a 3-time SEC champ on the balance beam. That's where they go. Kaya Johnson put up a 10 on the floor last week. Can she do it again here in Florida? Right after us, the Georgia Bulldogs travel to Tuscaloosa to take on Shania Adams and the Alabama Crimson Tide. 2 of the most storied programs in all of women's gymnastics. Stick around for more Friday Night Heights. That'll be coming up next. But here in Gainesville, here's the meet summary. After 1 rotation, led by Trinity Thomas's 9.975, Florida got a .125 lead. LSU was able to just shave a little bit off of that as they headed into the 3rd rotation. It's down to 1/10 now as Megan Skaggs mounts the beam. Florida, the #1 team in the country on the balance beam. Last week, the meet came down to this event for them at Missouri, and they did it under pressure. They hit and got an important win. They want to keep their hopes for a regular season SEC title alive.
Beautiful switch leap split jump. Megan has great flexibility, and something I like about her gymnastics is when you have flexible shoulders and the way you finish your artistry, it makes your gymnastics just look so pretty. Solid front aerial. Solid cat jump to switch side.
Megan is the number 16th ranked gymnast in the all-around currently in the country.
Small hop in that landing, but that's what you want in a leadoff. Somebody who's going to hit and give nothing away to the judges. Beautiful, dynamic. She is over 180 degrees. That is what we call some dynamic flexibility. And the aerial back full dismount.
So good start for Florida, and now over to LSU on the floor exercise. Christina Desiderio last week put up a career high in the leadoff position on the floor exercise 9.95, and right now, as close as this meet is, they could use something just like that right now, could the Tigers.
Christina opens up with a huge double layout.
That leadoff score from Christina Desiderio last week led to a school record for LSU on the floor exercise.
Second pass, connection of 1.5 punch front lay. Torch and a half, split full. Gymnasts start from a 9.4. They have to get bonus points to get up to a 10.0 start value. You get those by fulfilling them with tumbling skills, leaps and jumps. Closes out with a double tuck. Not many places where I could think the judges would take some deductions.
Christina Desiderio does it again. The Energizer Bunny, man, she just comes out of the gate, puts up a big number.
When an athlete closes a routine with a double flipping skill like that you just saw there, a double back, you get a bonus 10th for that. And she nailed that routine.
That should be a great score for LSU in the leadoff spot. Megan Skaggs got a great number for Florida, 9.875. Now Sloane Blakely, it's been a tough night for her so far. Struggled a little bit on the vault, definitely on the bars, and now here she is on the beam, trying to get things straightened out.
Nice connection of a switch leap, switch side, or switch half, excuse me. Sloane has competed for Team USA, and something that they really drill into you in the elite world is you need to turn the page when you make a mistake, and you can't let that snowball. And unfortunately for Sloane, it is snowballing tonight. She is making uncharacteristic-like mistakes, and I know she's going to be disappointed because all these athletes are perfectionists.
So a little bit of trouble, but a heck of a fight for Sloane Blakely to stay on that balance beam, and that's what you like to see from a young gymnast.
This is a very difficult lead connection. Switch leap to switch half. The side summy picked her chest up a little too quickly, causing her to lose her balance.
Christina Desiderio led off this week with a 9.9, so slight advantage to LSU rather, after one routine for both gymnasts. Now here's Alona Shenikova.
Opens up with a front double full. On the floor exercise, things the judges are looking for: your artistry, how well you dance and perform your routine, difficulty, are you performing hard skills, and if you can control your landings. Nice connection pass of around a 1.5 punch front full.
Alona's done the all-around a couple times this season. She's not doing it tonight, but Jay Clark did tell us earlier this year that she came to him early on and said, you know what, I feel better than I have felt in a long time. And she's battled a lot of injuries coming into college through her first few years, but she has worked hard and certainly will be a big contributor in the all-around the rest of the way.
Handspring Rudy back layout step out, and she loved it.
For LSU on the floor, that was Alona Shenikova.
Alona's routine is packed with difficulty. A lot of connection passes, that 1.5 to punch front full. She had great control on that, and then she finished with the Rudy to back layout step out.
Sloan Blakely's score in the 2 spot for Florida, a 9.6. Again, they can drop the low score, and we saw them do that on the uneven bars, and they had to drop her 8.555. But balance beam, Alicia, it's a little bit different animal when the pressure is on, is it not?
It is. I think balance beam is the make or break event for women's gymnastics. You have to be able to count on your beam team. And if this snowballs, if other athletes feel the pressure and make mistakes too, this could be, you know, a great opportunity for LSU, but it could be troublesome for Florida.
Alyssa's a 3-time SEC beam champion.
Beautiful front aerial 2 beat jump connection there.
Ilona Shinikova on floor exercise, a 9.85. You do see the score now. LSU does have a slight lead, but keep in mind, Sloan Blakely's 9.6 is currently still counting toward Florida's team score. The rest of the gymnasts can hit, they will drop that, and their team score will jump when that score gets dropped.
Alyssa Baumann fighting for that dismount, did not want to take a step. A beautiful back handspring layout step out for her acro series. And that round off 1.5 opens it up. Really, you can see her toes grabbing the mat so she doesn't move her feet.
On the uneven bars, we saw Megan Skaggs go up after a mistake. She is a super senior, a 5th-year senior. Answered the bell there, and now we have another super senior, Alyssa Baumann, under so much pressure in a pressure spot, hitting a massive beam routine. Now over to floor exercise, Ilona Shinikova, 9.85. This is KJ Johnson.
KJ opens up with a full in.
Alyssa Baumann score 9.9.
Nice switch side straddle full.
KJ is the number 25 gymnast in the country currently on the floor exercise.
Closes out with a double tuck. A hard pass to finish your routine with. You are dancing, tumbling, and moving for 90 seconds straight. So your endurance has to be on point. A nice look at that connection pass. And her teammates doing her choreography with her. Closed out that routine with that double tuck. A little bit too much juice on that landing.
So 3 hit routines for LSU on floor exercise. Alyssa Baumann with that 9.9 in the 3rd spot for Florida, and now the freshman Leanne Wong. So you see the scores on the side, that 9.6 looming large for the Gators right now. Leanne Wong is one of the best gymnasts in all of collegiate gymnastics, but by the way, she's the 2nd best gymnast on planet Earth when she won that silver medal at the recent World Championships in the fall, Olympic team alternate as well.
The under team has been very well done so far. If she keeps this up, this would be a great score that Florida could use to hopefully drop Sloan Blakely's 9.6.
Alicia, you and I had a chance to talk to Naya and Trinity this week, and they talked about Leanne in such glowing terms. They said they would be in practice and they'd look over and just see the gymnastics that she would do and be going, can you do that again? Just constantly amazing her teammates.
nailed that dismount down, stuck the double full. They often ask her, are we training for the same thing? But I think they all want that NCAA championship. The round off double full, a layup position with 2 spins. And she just makes sure, double squat to make sure the judges know I didn't move, just showing you that I got it.
Leanne is still wanting to train elite, hopes to go to the U.S. Championships this summer, so that is why you'll see a lot of great gymnastics from that young gymnast regularly in her practices. KJ Johnson, 9.95. That is a career-high score for the LSU Tiger. Now, Aaliyah Finnegan, one of the other star freshmen here in the NCAA. Haven't seen her do the all-around yet, but she is capable of great gymnastics.
Opens up with an Arabian double front to stag jump. That was beautiful.
The Finnegan name well known around the LSU campus. Sarah Finnegan, one of the greatest LSU Tiger gymnasts in all of history for that program. And Jay Clark said as great as Sarah was, and he doesn't like to necessarily compare the two, he said, Aaliyah is even more talented. Watch out. Leanne Wong scores in, career high 9.925 for her.
2.5 front layout for Aaliyah. He mentioned that the judges are looking for difficulty. A lot of D, E value skills are what they want to see in floor teams, and that's where you're going to see really big scores. That Arabian double front, it's a blind landing. She has space to kill, and she adds the jump, giving her bonus tenths there. And then that 2.5 punch front layout.
Courtney McCool-Griffith, one of the new coaches on the staff for Jay Clark, along with her husband, Garrett Griffith. Now here we go with the great one, Trinity Thomas. She is #1 in the country on this event, has already gotten a 10.0 on the balance beam this year. Let's see, see the accolades for Trinity Thomas.
Trinity gearing up for her acro series. One arm back handspring, layout step out. Absolutely perfect.
Aaliyah Finnegan answers Leanne Wong's career high with her own career high, 9.9 for her floor exercise routine.
Trinity loses her hand on her back handspring swing down, regrips the beam. That won't count as a fall. She will get a little deduction for not having control of the skill, but she covered that up very well. Aerial back full, sticks that landing.
She is 3 for 3 for stuck landings tonight, is Trinity Thomas. Man, she is in a zone.
The back handspring swing down, you could see she didn't have equal pressure between her hands, but she covered it up.
Tonight's attendance, 9,682, the third straight sellout here at the O-Dome, and the third time the LSU-Florida matchup has been a sellout as well. Haley Bryant, #5 in the country on floor exercise. Again, following a pair of 9.9s, a 9.95 and a 9.9. With 2 gymnasts left, Haley Bryant and Kaya Johnson, they could go big here. Could LSU?
Front handspring, double front, so high. The scores are building. That's strategy within a lineup. You want to give your athletes with a lot of potential, your chance to get the biggest scores. And with these routines, the way they're constructed, very difficult. Switch ring to switch half.
Big moment in the meet right now. Trinity Thomas's score just came in. It is a 9.7. They will have to count that score because they also have a 9-6 so far in this rotation. This is a big opportunity. LSU down by a 10th coming into this rotation. Haley Bryant and Kaya Johnson, if they can put up 9-9 pluses, they will absolutely take the lead here in Gainesville.
Last pass for Handspring front double full. Soft on that landing. She is battling a partially torn plantar fascia, and you can see on that second pass, there was almost a look of discomfort on her face, like she could feel the pang in her foot. She had that first pass that was absolutely huge.
What are the judges going to do with this right here, Alicia?
They're going to probably do, with the step and the squat on the landing, I mean, this routine would be 9-7-5, 9-8.
First and foremost, hopefully that foot is okay. You mentioned the injury she had. We saw that meet that she was hurt in the first meet of the season. But besides that, that was maybe an opportunity that slipped away from the Tigers. Chance to capitalize on Trinity Thomas is very rare. 9-7 from her on balance beam. And Haley Bryant scores in. It is a 9.775. That is currently their lowest score. They will want to drop that if Kaya Johnson can hit. Now Leah Clapper, the pressure is on her, as we mentioned. A 9.6 and a 9.7 already in the books for Florida on balance beam. This athlete is capable of a big score. Already has a 9.975 this season. But the pressure is on.
Handspring layout, layout, 3-skill acro series, very difficult, and Leah makes it look easy.
And smiles while she's doing it. Love it.
Jenny Rowland told us that she actually choreographs in her smiling. She says it helps her stay calm. So she's even practicing like this. It's not just because it's a meet or it's forced, this is what she does. This is part of her beam routine. Aerial, back full, and that's what Florida needed.
Big moment right there. Maybe a meet-saving moment for the Florida Gators. Kaya Johnson last week in her first all-around competition. At the end of the meet, she answered in a big moment.
She secured that victory with this 10.0. She's looking to hopefully do that again here tonight.
8-time All-American, SEC floor champ. Jay Clark has told us periodically throughout this year how they're managing her Achilles. It is a chronic thing. It's nothing new. It's been throughout her collegiate career. Did say she was a little bit sore after last week's meet doing the all-around. Had to take an extra day off this week to get prepared for this meet, but said she's feeling good.
Full in, first pass.
Leah Clapper, a 9.95, a huge spot for them, but they will count a 9.7. Now LSU's big moment here. They need to drop that 9.775 from Haley Bryant.
Was looking to do a layout out of that pass. She tucked it.
The 9.875 or better from Kaya Johnson will give LSU the lead after 3 events, but you saw that mistake. You'd mentioned it, Alicia. Normally that score would be no problem for Kaya Johnson, but we'll have to see how the judges handle that mistake.
Last tumbling pass. Double pike. And she's happy about that landing. It was a nice routine. If we're looking at deduction-wise, right, if we're going to try to be overly critical, she did have a pretty big step after her first pass, and then didn't do the layout in the second, but she nailed the routine with that last pass, a beautifully done double pike.
So not a perfect rotation for either of these teams in the third, but man, they made it dramatic. Coming up, we are going to talk about Gymnast of the Week, and we're going to preview the meet that's coming up right behind us. Don't go away. Score through 3 rotations. I guaranteed you it would be a good meet, and you could not ask for a better one. It is tied through 3 rotations, 4 versus 5. We have got a good one. It was a 9.85 for Kaya Johnson. Alicia, who are the gymnasts of the week here in the SEC?
Last week, our gymnast of the week was Auburn Sunisa Lee. She got the first 10.0 of her career. Our specialist of the week was LSU's leadoff, Christina Desiderio, who helped get the Tigers their highest floor score in program history. And last but not least, Auburn's Sophia Groff was the freshman of the week, posting up a career best on the uneven bars.
Congratulations to those athletes on an outstanding week. Lexi Graber and the Alabama Crimson Tide, they're warming up in Tuscaloosa. They're hosting the Georgia Bulldogs. That'll be right after our competition. You can just stay right there in your couch. Stay there, and then after them, it's Missouri-Auburn. Great night of gymnastics, but man, it's not going to get any better than this one. Number 5 LSU, number 4 Florida. They are tied through 3 rotations. Going to the balance beam, LSU Tigers, Christina Desiderio, she'll lead things off again for them. Meanwhile, on the floor exercise, Trinity Thomas tries to take the lead and get it, but we have an incredible all-around competition as well. Right now, it's being led by Leanne Wong.
She has had a great night so far, looking to cap it off on the floor exercise, but her execution is something that always has me in awe. She's such a clean gymnast and performs everything so effortlessly.
As I said, she currently has the lead in the all-around, and this has got to be one of the best all-around competitions you see all season long. 6 all-arounders. All 6 of those athletes are ranked in the top 18 in the country currently in the all-around, and there is just a half a tenth separating 5 of them. We talk about how close the team competition, it does not get any better than that as well. The Florida Gator fans are loving it. Here is the rotation by rotation summary. 0.125 is the lead we started with. It got down to a tenth, and now, lo and behold, we are tied. LSU coming back with 2 career highs on floor exercise to close that gap. But again, Alicia, both these teams had a little struggle in that last rotation. They each gave away 10s, had some mistakes. Could it be the pressure on these athletes late here wanting to win this meet so badly?
It's an important matchup, and they know what's on the line for both of these teams, so they're looking to go in this last event and really put up some big scores.
LSU Tigers rallying over on the beam. Talk about finishing your meet on beam, especially in a pressure situation like this.
It is a lot of pressure on the athletes. You know, I think this is where you win a meet. If you can close out on beam, even if you are the visiting team, that shows how strong you are. That shows how mentally tough you are. And that is something you want to be able to do, especially getting into the second half of the season and into postseason.
Possibly a little gamesmanship or some necessary changes possibly for LSU. You saw Jay Clark over at the table talking to the judges, and we have just found out that Haley Bryant is out on the balance beam. That means she's also out of the all-around. Alicia, you alluded to it. You caught it on floor exercise, just favoring that foot a little bit, not taking any chances. So she was supposed to go in the 5th spot. Now it will be Kai Rivers. But leading off again, here's Christina Desiderio.
Switch leap, switch half. Just a very small balance check in the landing of that second jump. Beautiful back handspring lat step out for Christina's acro series. Perfect front aerial. Cat jump, gainer full off the side, and she sticks the landing. Christina does a catch jump. Her leg swing, she's forward, she flips backwards, and it has a full twist.
So lineup changes for LSU on beam. How will they handle that? We shall see. But the crowd is starting to get a little bit warmed up here if they haven't already. Megan Skaggs will lead things off for Florida. Outstanding in this leadoff position.
Megan opens up with a double wolf turn. If you ask athletes, some of them love being in the leadoff position and some of them really don't like it. I think it takes a certain breed of gymnasts to like being the leadoff because it is a very pressure-filled position because you are expected to give your team that first score to start the meet, to give the momentum of that event. And so Megan Skaggs has that down. Beautiful Georgia Tay half split full. Round off 1.5 front layout.
She does it again.
And she is hyped about it. Megan opened up with a nice connection pass, the front 1.5 to double stag jump. And her teammates are very excited about that. Closed out the routine. Her one foot slid just ever so slightly on that landing, but she finished out very strong.
Sammy Durante will be the second gymnast for LSU. She follows a 9.875 for Christina Desiderio. So we'll watch this score for score. We'll see what Megan Skaggs' score is. We'll see how that compares to the leadoff for LSU.
Unfortunate fall for Sammy Durante.
Big moment now for the Tigers. The margin of error is gone. They have to be perfect the rest of the way.
I saw her in the touch warm-up. She struggled on that same connection skill. And she had to repeat it because she needs the connection between the front aerial to the back handspring to get credit for her acro series.
Sammy was injured in the first meet of the season on the uneven bars. Had her forearm locked up in really kind of a strange injury, but recovered quickly. She's 100%, but that's certainly not the beam routine that she was hoping for.
As she approached that front aerial, her toes were already all the way off the side of the beam. Ideally, you want to kind of have your foot smack dab in the middle with a little bit of toe separation to grab the sides.
So Megan Skaggs led off with a 9.9, so quarter of a tenth advantage after one for Florida. Clearly with that Sammy Durante fall, the potential here for Florida to grab back that lead and maybe not let it go. Now Alyssa Bauman, the super senior, she's already gotten a 9.975 on this event this season.
First pass. Round off 1.5 front full. Great connection pass.
9.35 for Sammy Durante.
Switch full to jump. Big double pike for Alyssa. Her tumbling passes were great. I've seen her do better, more controlled jumps, but here's the gator chop that every gator gymnast has in their floor routine. The fans know when it is, the teammates know what it is, and they all do it together. Nice look at that connection pass. Very well controlled on the landing. And that double pike makes it look easy. And here's the jump.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with that score, Alicia. In the middle of her routine, it looked like she was going for a leap sequence and then just stopped. Not sure how that will be interpreted. We will find out in a few moments. But right now, Bridget Dean in a huge spot for LSU. Sammy Durante's 9.35 now, the score that they almost certainly will have to drop if they hope to get the win today.
Aerial back handspring. A unique acro series, not something you always see, but she was solid on that skill. Beautiful front aerial to beat jump.
Alyssa Bauman's score 9.9, so a pair of 9.9s for Florida to start off this rotation.
Aerial back full, and she sticks it. This was probably the last big connection skill she had left, because you can see that little smirk she makes with her face. All she had left after that was the dismount, and she finished that routine, and that's exactly what LSU needed after a fall.
So your all-around leader after 3 rotations, freshman Leanne Wong. Again, following a pair of 9.9s for the Gators here in this big spot.
Opens up with a very difficult E-value skill, a triple full.
Wow, and she opened up out of that sky high. Bridget Dean, a 9.875 for her beam routine.
Whip half front full. Still does the jump, even though she kind of has a little bit of misplacement of her feet in the finishing of that front full. Last pass for Leanne. Great double pike. You see her teammates in the crowd loving the routine. That triple full, great height all the way around. That beautiful connection pass. You can see she falters there ever so slightly, but still commits to doing the jump.
So getting the job done, Leanne Wong. From one outstanding freshman to another, Aaliyah Finnegan for LSU. Again, that 9-3-5, the score that LSU is trying to drop. Again, it feels like 9-9s or better are what they're going to need.
That back handspring layout was immaculate. It was so dynamic and clean.
Aaliyah's collegiate season has started slow as well. She came off an elite season where she was trying to make it to the Olympic trials last summer. Actually had a pin replaced in her foot last fall, so they've been taking it slow. Want to make sure she's comfortable, and most importantly, that she's healthy.
Back handspring, 1.5, small hop on that landing, but that was another good beam routine for LSU. Getting another look at that fantastic acro series. So well executed. Again, LSU showing a lot of dynamic flexibility over 180 degrees, which the judges like to see.
And Aaliyah really needed to nail that one because Leanne Wong put up a career high 9.975, and now it just gets better for the Florida Gators. The number 3 gymnast in the country is Nia Reed. She's a 3-time All-American, and she's gotten a 10-0, her first 10-0 of her career on this event earlier this season. Pivotal moment of this competition right now.
Nia told me she talks to herself throughout her floor routine, tells her to tone it back a bit, control her landings. She opens up with a big double layout, which her landing was very well controlled. Front layout, front 1.5.
Aaliyah Finnegan's beam score 9.875. So with each good score that LSU's gotten, Florida has been just a little bit better. They're building a little bit of a lead now.
Last tumbling pass for Nia. If she finishes this with good control, this is going to be a huge score. And the jump. That beautiful front layout to 1.5. Perfectly straight body position in the air. No deductions at all for that. Close it out with a big double pike.
Where do you go if you're the judges? You just gave Leanne Wong a 9.975. One of the judges gave her a 10, and then Nia Reed goes up and does that. Wow.
I'm sorry, that has to be a 10.
It just came in, and we're not going to hide it. You can see the crowd, and you can hear them. 10.0 for Nia Reed, the second of her career. Well earned.
Kai Rivers
and here's
going
Kai
through her
Rivers.
routine.
Yeah, Kai Rivers in for Haley Bryant. And I just want to tell you, the last time Kai Rivers did balance beam for the LSU Tigers, it was 2020. And certainly she's capable here, but this is not what she expected to be doing, certainly not in this pressure-packed moment.
She's handling this pressure very well. Obviously, the crowd is going wild, and for an athlete to stay focused on what they're doing and not get distracted by that, it's very difficult. Round up double full, and she sticks the landing.
Good for her. What a clutch performance. In for her teammate. Had to hit. It might not be enough in this last rotation that Florida is crushing it, but man, you gotta love to see a performance like that from Kai Rivers. That'll pay dividends down the road.
Very tough position to be in, but she handled that like a boss. Was unfazed, had an ever so slight balance check after her acro series, but finished the routine unfazed.
Here we go with Trinity Thomas, number 2 in the country on this event. Trinity's also gotten a 10 on this event this season.
Gigantic. I mean, I don't think there's enough adjectives to describe how big that double layout just was.
As close as this competition has been through 3 rotations, Florida with an incredible floor rotation set up Trinity Thomas here to win this competition. She just needs a 9.775, and I don't want to jinx this athlete, but that is a score she can get in her sleep.
Trinity and I have gone back-to-back 10s before, and based on how this routine has gone so far, it looks like they could do it again. All she has is this tumbling pass. She opens it up to try to stick. Typically when you open up and you take a step forward out of a backwards tumbling pass, it's considered to be under-rotated. So they won't give her a 10. As much as I want to see it, that's going to be like 995 or 9975. Oh my gosh, I'm in awe of that double layout. Love a good chomp.
Oh, and she wanted that stick so bad. It's funny, you can see her face too as she walked over to her teammates. It was a happy face, but it was one that she knew her standards are so high. She wanted that perfect landing at the end. Kai Rivers in that spot gets a 9.9. Good for her. Kaya Johnson now in the anchor position. Score for Trinity Thomas is in 9.975. Florida has won this competition.
Great acro series for Kaya. Back handspring layout, step out.
You saw Kaya's scores tonight, outstanding, on pace for an outstanding all-around. It will not be good enough to catch Leanne Wong, however. She has clinched the all-around title.
Solid on that front toss. Beautiful dismount, sticks the 1.5. Kaya finished the routine with that back handspring 1.5 twist, and she was so happy about it.
So LSU, they do answer after a mistake from Sammy Durante. They do drop that 9.35. They did get 5 good hit routines, but man, you had to be on fire and perfect to keep pace with the Gators floor rotation. They were unstoppable. Every counting score will be a 9.9 or better, culminating in Nia Reed's 10.0. But here we have one more. Could they raise the score even more? Sloan Blakely finishing things off.
Opens up with an Arabian double front. Switch ring, switch half. Double tuck for Sloane's second pass.
And Sloane has not had the night that she had hoped to have, had some mistakes throughout this competition, but it's like golf. You hit that last shot good and it makes it feel good and puts a good taste in your mouth as you walk off the floor, and certainly that's what this floor team is hopefully going to do for Sloane Blakely.
Sloane closing out with a 1.5 front layout. Fantastic way to end her night. Opened up with that big Arabian double front. It is a blind landing. You can see her eyeing to see where the corner was to make sure she stays in bounds. Finish with that beautiful connection pass at the end.
Wow, what a finish, what a competition. Comes down to the wire. Florida, LSU tied after 3, but Florida, with that floor performance, one of the highest in their school history, they run away with it here in the end in Gainesville. Crowd loves it. Everybody here in the O-Dome, the fans love it. Florida gets it done. A pivotal matchup here in the SEC to win the regular season crown, and Florida gets it done. 198.15 for the winners. Leanne Wong, and she gets her second all-around title of her young career, Alicia, and she did the job tonight.
She was absolutely lights out tonight. Started off on vault, putting up a big score, kept that momentum going for herself, had a beautifully done bar set, and she was really focusing on trying to get those landings, and she just kept everything on pace. She didn't seem to get flustered when teammates weren't really perfect or made some mistakes, and as a freshman, she has something about her that she competes so well. There hasn't really been that much of a learning curve for her, and Jenny Rowland knows that she has a very great career ahead of her.
Maybe the biggest single moment of tonight, though, was this young woman's floor team.
I can sit here and just watch Nia do floor all night long. She has a great combination of tumbling difficulty and dance, and her artistry is just fantastic.
So Florida wins the meet with that 198.15, fourth consecutive dual meet win over LSU. That's not got to sit well with Jay Clark and the Tigers. Leanne Wong, she gets her second all-around win of her career, and Nia Reed, second 10 of her career. So Florida gets the win, 198.15 to 197.825 for LSU. That is it for from Gainesville. For Alicia Sacramone Quinn, I'm John Roethlisberger. Don't go anywhere. Going to Tuscaloosa, Georgia, Alabama next.